and welcome to this special edition of Trader Talk TV. Today we have Aden from Coull in the office.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Aden, thanks for coming in. Today we're going to talk about the digital advertising world post-Flash. As of September 1st, Chrome, which is 50% of the internet traffic on the web, are discontinuing their support of Flash. Well, what does that mean for the advertising industry? We have Aden here to talk about that. Before we do that, Aden, talk a bit about yourself and what Coull do.
Sure. So I'm Aden. I'm the CTO at Coull. We are a video SSP. We've concentrated on adding a lot of data pre-bid that the advertisers will want. All the hits, you know, the viewability, the categorization, brand safety, fraud, URL and masking, all of those classics. Doing that pre-bid. And now we're building out an exchange. We're building out a next-gen exchange just to get all that data to the advertisers, because they have to pay for it post-bid.
Yeah.
So what the hell's that?
Yeah.
So a next-gen exchange will have all of that data in it, modern connections, loss notification, all the things that DSPs actually want as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's going pretty well so far.
Okay. So Aden has extensive experience working with Flash throughout his career. He's been working with Flash for a number of years. So Aden, just tell us what's going on as of September 1st. Explain to us what's going to happen and what effect that will have on sort of online advertising. So
sure,
we'll draw it out there for our audience. So Chrome, which is 50% of internet traffic on desktop, is discontinuing full support for Flash. So what does that mean for the advertisers, publishers running Flash ads on various websites?
Yeah, so we've all loved Flash so far, right? It's given us the ability to wrap up a load of assets together, put one file out there on the web and have it work across any browser on desktop. Now, I came up in Flash 15 years ago. That's where I got my start. I loved it, but I got out of the game 5 years ago. And really, it's only been held up by the ad industry. We've loved it for those cool things. But come 1st September, or early September, Google say, Google Chrome, 50% of the market, it's going to start pausing non-essential, that's what they call it, non-essential Flash elements on the screen by default. So for instance, on an average publisher's page, say they're a video cat, they've got their main video player in the middle. Yeah. They'll have the classic leaderboard situation, MPU. The user will come along to the page, they'll see this video player. If these flash ads around the side, then they'll start off grayed out with a circle in it with a play button. Looks interesting, but that's your ad, right? If you're an advertiser, you paid for that graphic to be shown, not for Google to grey it out and put this play button on it. So if you want that to unpause as a user and see what the ad's all about, you've got to click on it, and then the flash ad plays. Yeah. So it's going to be a tumultuous time for a lot of advertisers. Of course, that double click scenario, well, what's going to happen to click-through rates? They're going to go through the floor, right? And if you're a publisher rewarded on performance based on display ads, you're going to be having a bad day. You don't want to get left holding the bag.
So you've got a lot of creatives probably being done at the minute, given the Christmas periods coming up, and a lot of campaigns are being done internally at the agencies. Yep. So what do you think they should be doing? I mean, do you think that a lot of them are know this is happening, or is it a simple case that this is kicking the can down the road, as they say in the industry? Are they actually making proactive approach to this, or are they kind of ignoring the bigger picture?
Well, it'll still be there, but it'll be paused. So the ad impression will be generated, right? The ad will be loaded. The ad impression will be down there. Yeah. So if you're not switched on, you're going to see a drop in performance. Yeah. You're not going to know why. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of talk on the forums, a lot of emails back and forth, a lot of angry calls. Yeah. Going, what the hell's going on? And pubs seeing the arse end of that with a lower CPM. Yeah. So the things they could do. Google have been pretty proactive. I mean, it's their browser they're turning off, so you would expect them to be. Yeah. But even inside, nobody's really been on the ball. It's been interesting to see. They've had a lot of talks, which has been really good. They've put out some guidelines. They've got Google Web Builder, which has come on a lot. It's still a bit buggy, but it's come on a lot.
So what's the Google Web Builder? Apparently, is it converting files from from Flash to HTML5, is that right?
Well, inside DoubleClick, they've got this tool called Swiffy, which will
Swiffy.
automatically convert Flash files to HTML5 creative.
Okay.
It's only 50% successful
Right.
at the minute. They're hoping to knock that to 90, but fingers crossed, eh? And if you're an advertiser spending $1,
Yeah.
you're not going to cross your fingers.
Yeah.
So they got this other tool, Google Web Build, which allows you to come along, make a HTML5 compliant ad. It looks really nice. You can make one that will fit that size, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll dynamically
Right.
resize. The beauty of HTML5.
Yeah.
The dream, this
Yeah.
auto-resizing creative.
Yeah.
Make ones deploy anyway.
Yeah.
That's what we're after. That's what Flash used to have, where it's a desktop world.
Yeah.
Now it's a mobile and connected TV world.
Yeah.
We want this.
So let's talk about publishers, right? How can they prepare themselves for this? I mean, what sort of approach should they take? Should they be proactively going out and telling the agencies that they're working with, this is happening?
Yeah.
Please don't send the Flash files down the pipe because we might not be able to serve them properly and the campaign's going to be affected. So what kind of guidelines would you give to publishers and even advertisers or agencies who are like looking at this and are not fully aware of the problem?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a publisher, if you're just relying on ad networks to fill, you could bury your head in the sand and just let somebody else come up with that. If you're an actual premium publisher making dollar, you know, a kind of watchmarvel.com scenario, right? You know, you're talking to premium pubs, you're getting direct campaigns. You need to be proactive with them. Because otherwise, when the time comes to re-up, they're going to go where the performance is terrible, and you're not going to be able to give them a reason why. So you need to be asking them, where's the HTML5 equivalent?
Okay.
On the flip side of that, you need to be aware that these HTML5 ads, they're about 4 times bigger, because all the assets are separated.
Yeah.
And the page for users got to come along here, they've got to load the graphic, they've got to load all the JS script to run the ad, and any fonts, you know, advertiser fonts, all of those got to be loaded separately.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's beauty of Flash, package it.
So that has to be put into the site code before.
Yeah, when an ad runs, it has to load all that. And if the agency's been a bit lax, or you're not iframing your ad unit, all of that code, well, that can just run as if it was on the page. So it might interrupt your page.
Yeah.
So you've got to start QAing these ads as well. So it's a whole other thing.
So there's a whole other process you have to think about, actually. Whereas in fairness to Flash, it might have been clunky and a drain on battery life and phones and sort of loading times, etc. It made this process easier. So you actually have to think about the whole process of actually putting the likes of JS and CSS on your page to make HTML5 work.
Absolutely. And just your normal video player as well. You can go to the BBC website. If you install the Chrome Beta, you can see this effect now. And you can see how they lay out their sports sites. It's generally video player, content, video player, content. But because Google Chrome's lookup, where it determines what's good Flash and bad Flash, is pretty, it's not very smart, right? It goes,
it's mostly subjective,
is it less than 530 pixels wide?
Yeah.
If it is, then I'm just going to assume it's not the main event and start pausing it.
Yeah.
So on the BBC's website, they've got these video players with the highlights you've come to see, all auto paused, and you've got to double click to engage. Editorial, they're not going to have a great day, right?
No. So tell me, why... So I mean, Adobe are obviously looking to discontinue Flash. They've made it public.
Yeah.
It's not the most popular thing. But what about this move to HTML5? Everybody's been talking about HTML5 for a long time. Is it the new sort of framework for developing or developing ads or serving ads? Is it going to be an easier format, easier way to kind of deliver ads? What's the premise of thinking behind it?
Yeah, so Flash has never really worked on mobile. Adobe tried to get it to work on mobile, never really caught on, right? So now it's only on 60% of the market. Yeah. There was a day when it was 98 penetration on devices. Now 60%.
Yeah.
So now's the time to let it die.
Yeah.
Like my niece keeps singing, let it go, right? Let's kick this thing in the hoof.
Yeah.
And move to HTML5. The beauty of HTML5, you can make one piece of ad creative, and it can look different in each size, but it'll work at all sizes. You add one graphic to it, some strap lines, a few graphics and fonts, and it will dynamically resize.
So it dynamically resizes according to the size of the screen.
That's the beauty.
Okay.
So that's from the creative side, it's awesome. From the tracking side, now Flash used to be great because it would uniformly track in the same way. You could do viewability code in it. You could do all sorts of stuff inside the under the hood just by having a little tiny Flash view in it. Ran a load of script, did a load of detection of viewability.
Yeah.
Now with Flash on the way out, and we should finally get rid of it, everybody should, all of your viewability vendors should move over to a JavaScript first world. If you're a video publisher, that's where the cash cow is for publishers, right? Of course, you want to fill that with premium ads, good ad spend. The best way to do that is to make sure your ads are VPay compliant and the advertisers have a clear run-in to show their ad. Now, of course, advertisers want to use all the viewability vendors, all your 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter acronym partners, right? They want them to use those guys. And if those guys haven't got a JavaScript solution, they're still relying on Flash, then your viewability metrics as an advertiser, they're going to start to look wonky. You're going to start only getting a small sample size of your overall spend and potentially a poison well situation on the data you do have.
So, is there a case for standardization around this? I mean, it feels to me that we're rushing into HTML5. Standardization hasn't arrived yet. Is the industry ready for this? And are we sort of like, to your point, are we about to sort of run into sort of choppy waters around measurement and targeting and all the rest because the industry simply hasn't been ready to make this move from Flash to HTML5?
Well, for display, certainly the IB's put out some interim specs to get feedback from, but it's all on publishers at the minute to start talking to their advertisers and saying, this is my file size limit. I do not want ads from you guys being above 200k. I mean, it used to be 40k for Flash, but you've got to start thinking 4 times as big. And start discussing with your advertisers how they're going to get these creators built. Right? For video, you're absolutely right. We need to see the end of Flash video player. HTML5 is better, and publishers need to pick a video player vendor that is JavaScript first, and most importantly, does VPay JavaScript as well. That's where the future is. And the vendors in the middle that the advertisers use, are these vendors that have been, scaremongers is the wrong word, but have been talking the talk about viewability and you've got to use us and all this kind of stuff. Now's the time to hold these cats' feet to the fire and say, look, you've got the solution, you've been telling us we need it, where's the JavaScript version? A lot of them have, some of them still need to catch up.
And there's still a few that haven't done it. Okay. Aden, again, thanks for coming in today, appreciate it. And that was Trader Talk TV, and we'll see you next week.